Hi everyone, welcome back. My name is Susma Siddiqui. I'm a voracious book reader, and these days I'm reading the Clifton Chronicles by Jeffrey Archer. Last week I reviewed the book called Only Time Will Tell, which was the first part in the entire series, and it was mainly introduction to all the characters and how they relate to each other, how they know each other, the connection, their backstories, everything. This book, the one that I've just read, is called The Sins of the Father, which I had previously read last year. I had reviewed it, but because I have not read these books in a series and I'm doing it now, I thought of revising and rereading the book because I kind of forgot the story. I just remember being really into the fifth book, wanting to know what happens next because it ended on a cliffhanger. Even the second book did. So you want to read on, and that's the reason why you should read them in the series and not just read them as standalone books. They won't really do much good that way. So I read the second book, which was also fun. It's exciting. What I really love about the story is that it keeps moving forward. It's not like rolled around one person. It's a lot of characters, and then you read their different stories and how all their different stories kind of affect the entire story on the whole. And it moves at a really quick pace. So that is the best part, where you're not kind of stuck on a very medium paced story and you're trying to get to the end of it. This one's much quicker. You kind of enjoy it. Everything is happening really quickly. Things start and they end. You don't have to wait for many books to find out what happens at the end. I enjoyed myself reading the second book as well and rereading it. It did not feel like a bore, or it did not even feel like I had read this book before. Just with the first book, in continuation of the first book, it felt like a good part of the series. So I'm definitely going to recommend you to read this entire series, because up to the fifth part, I know for sure that it is a very interesting read. So all these books are just, good stories that I want to continue reading. And I'm just going to, tell you to read these books. The second book talks about the father. The first book was mainly about the grandparents. The second was about the parents. I'm hoping the third one is about them, and the fourth one is about their children, and so on. But right now, it's mainly about the father and how he's involved with every life in the character, involved in the life of every character of the book, and how he's making a difference to every story and what happens to him at the end. So it's a good book. I would suggest that you read these books in the order they're written in. And I'm glad I didn't have to wait years to read the next part of the series, and I'm just getting to read them all together. So as soon as one book finishes, I can start the other one, which is exactly what I did. Highly recommending this book, this entire series. Go ahead, give them a read. Jeffrey Archer is one of my favorite authors. The way he writes is so amusing. I always get involved in the entire story. Although I'm not really great with the British political system, but it seems that I understand what he's trying to say. So, good book, good writer. Jeffrey Archer is definitely on my top 5 favorite authors list. So, always going to recommend his books. Go ahead, give it a read. I will see you next week. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do that. I'm going to come back next week with another book. Until then, see you around. Bye bye.